We recently completed this 1990 Data East King Kong, and once completed, and presented publicly, there would seem to be a good demand for a gameplay video. Now, the bad thing about that, and why I don't do a lot of gameplay videos, is really I'm not much of a player. My forte is more the restoration of the games, and so a lot of times for me to do a gameplay video is kind of pointless. It rarely puts the game through all its paces, but I'm going to try, just in the interest of at least putting something out there so people can reference it. So with that said, let's talk about the game real quick in general. So again, it's a King Kong. It was made in 1990 by Data East, and around April, I think, is when the release of this game was. Now, they only made 9 of them, so it's not a game that really went into production, and it's certainly rare. There's conflicting reports about why it didn't go into production. Some people say the designer quit. Other people say they didn't secure the license. I've heard it's because they just decided to do Back to the Future instead. I wasn't there, so who really knows, but those are some of the reasons I've heard. The accuracy of any of them is just up in the air. But nonetheless, the game itself, we'll just look at the game, we'll talk about the game real quick, and then we'll move on to the gameplay. So the game is, obviously ode to King Kong, and not anything specific, just King Kong in general. So not a specific movie or anything like that, but just the theme in general. They have him climbing the Sears Tower with the moon in the background on the back box. On the lower side, or the lower part of the cabinet, they have the, he's basically just busted through the brush, that kind of thing. In the front, it's pretty much the classic King Kong thing. He's got the girl in one hand, he's fighting the snake with the other. And the right side basically just mirrors the left side. Same thing, back box and lower cabinet, no difference. The back glass is really, this is probably one of my favorite back glasses in all of pinball. I see a lot of games, but this is just a really sharp back glass. The colors are very vivid. It's very well done. It's mirrored. I mean, it's an incredibly sharp looking back glass in person, and hopefully that comes across pretty well in the video. And the playfield layout, it's nothing to write home about, or nothing incredibly unique. There are some unique features about it, probably for the time, but it's looking back at it from today, not anything really incredible or special. It's got a very heavy Chicago-based theme. It's basically King Kong is loose in the city of Chicago, and they go through great lengths, I should say, to make sure it's Chicago. The Sears Tower with the tower targets, the Chicago Loop, the sports teams, the Cubs, the Bears, the Bulls, just all kinds of things that are just Chicago specific. So they do a really good job of that. One of the interesting things I find about this playfield on here, though, is this right here. I don't know why they have this on here, but with all the Chicago references and stuff, it does have this official game of the Tokyo Pinball Club. And so that's kind of interesting, I think. But, what that means or what that's about, I have no clue. And over on this side, they do have, King Kong, 1990, Data East, etc. And it says based on the 1932 novel, and of course, I guess they're basing it in general on, the novel, or maybe just that was the origins of King Kong in general, and they have to do that. The apron is kind of a handmade affair. It's from what I've been able to tell, having went through this game and taking this game apart and seeing some of the different tags and all. Many of the parts that are on here, like the apron and different harnesses and things, are repurposed parts from Phantom of the Opera, which was probably the game they were building at that time, at the current run. So this Phantom of the Opera apron that they put
these little 2 King Kong decals on them. Not very well, I might add. I would have loved to have taken them off and putting them on correctly, but the likelihood of them being damaged and me not being able to recreate them properly or whatever just outweighed my desire to do that. So of course I left them on there and did what I could. And of course the game's been restored, so I mean we went through it. It's playfield's had some repaints and clear coating and the wire forms and the ramp, and it needed some work, but that's all been documented. I feel like fairly well in photos, and no need to go into too much of that. As far as the layout and the gameplay goes, it's 2 flippers on the lower end. They're standard size. You have 1 king size flipper, which is unique, I think. The ramp area right here has 3 different entrances. The plastic ramp has 2, one from this side and one from the king size flipper, and then there's a very steep steel ramp that locks the balls to collect for multi-ball. If the ball goes into this area right here, it'll shoot across and come into this, and then it'll come back around and pop out right into the jet bumper area. And then you have kind of like a little skill, a little random. These are basically your end lanes, is what this is, but it's located on a mini playfield, and it's over here on the right side of the playfield. So that's pretty much it. Let me try to put a game on it, and we'll see how I do, and at least maybe give you an idea of what the game does, and then that'll be that on it.
Kong, the 8th wonder of the world! Hit Kong. Hit Kong. Hit Kong. Hit Kong.
Now I'm going to continue the game just so maybe I can hit that last lock
Kong.
and hopefully hit that radar shot. I don't think I hit that.
Hit Kong. Who's got the girl? Wait a minute. Hit Kong. Third power. Hit the loop. Hit Kong. Wait a minute.
Now I think if I spell G, if I unlock the G, then it lights all features. So now all features are lit. That would be like the extra ball, the special, you know, everything, because I completed all letters.
He's finding same power.
Shot. It doesn't seem to work that well. couple notes about the game. Obviously, I had a decent game on it. You know, you might see like the the slingshot is probably a little bit sensitive. I think there's a switch up there in the pop out that's a little bit sensitive. You know, just a little bit of adjustment here and there as this thing wears back in from being totally disassembled and put back together. But it plays pretty well. You know, I find that, and I found this on the other one that I worked on, and I have one more, but it's a little bit different. But anyway, I find this ramp to be particularly troublesome. It really gets, they're always really broken and trashed, and as you can see, you get a lot of rejected shots from that. It just doesn't flow well. The steel ramp is steep as it is amazingly easy to make as long as you get a nice clean shot at it. So that's kind of a surprise. But anyway, as far as King Kong goes, that's the best that I can offer as far as a gameplay video, and hopefully it comes across pretty well. But definitely a cool game, something you don't see every day, and this is certainly a fine example of it at this point. So hopefully, again, this at least creates some kind of documentation where people can have an idea of what this game's about and what it does.